Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm up in the Rollinsville National Forest in Colorado on South Boulder Creek. Now this creek is known for very nice gold. Hopefully we'll find some nice big pieces. There are some big rocks here that we can bust apart, get into the cracks, and hopefully find some bigger gold. Right now it's October, so the water level's very low, which gives me better access to those areas closer to the middle of the stream that you can't normally access during the summer months. So first I'm going to show you guys the gear I brought with me, and then I'll show you guys what I plan on doing. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so I got a shovel, of course. These are Arbor Fabricating classifiers. I have a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch. I've got snuffer bottle and snuffer bottle holder. Garrett Super Sluice Gold Pan. These are my favorite because they have these really deep ripples here, and I can process a lot of material with just this pan. And of course I have some buckets. Alright, so I didn't even expect this to happen. I got here and I was expecting to just dig under some big rocks and find some gold. However, I'm actually sitting on some really big boulders right here. It's not real bedrock, but they're big enough that they can trap gold in the cracks inside of them. So right behind me, there's a big crevice right here. We're gonna dig it out. We're gonna see what kind of gold's inside of it. And yeah, man, there's a lot of big rocks all the way up the stream. There's a big crevice over here we can dig out. It'll be a crevicing day for sure. See how tightly packed that is? That stuff is barely moving. Now if I can dig all of that out, I know that it hasn't been messed with. So I know if there's gold that ever ran over these cracks, that gold's still gonna be trapped underneath. So we need to dig that out as best as we can. So I have an assortment of tools that we can use to dig these crevices out. Yeah, I know there's going to be nice gold under that. All this stuff right here, that's the good stuff right there. Okay, so after I dug up these big chunks here, I noticed down below there's even more cracks which the gold can actually fit and hide down inside there. So we have to get down as far as humanly possible. I also have a metal detecting pinpointer. This will tell me if there's any kind of metals down in there, any heavy material, like even a lead sinker or a gold nugget. I'm not getting anything right there. All right, so a good half hour of digging, and we got some really nice stuff from this crack. So I busted out, there was a solid chunk here. I took that out. I was able to do that with my pry bar and my rock hammer. Now, down at the bottom, it's kind of a jagged edge down there. So I can't really grab much more with the spoon. So we're gonna actually fill it up with water. And we're gonna use the yabby pump to get every little bit out of the bottom. This tool makes an impossible job actually possible and kind of fun. Right, we got a nice clean crack. That's always a plus when you're out in the wilderness. You know what? We're actually not going to pan this out right now. We're going to put that in a bucket, all that material, and we're going to label it crack 1, and we're going to go to the next crack. I don't want to waste time panning out here. I want to spend the time actually retrieving the material because we can pan it home. Okay, so the only way to properly show you this next crack is to walk up to it. So I'm getting over to it. As you can see, this whole thing is exactly like bedrock. It may actually be bedrock sticking out from the side here. I'm not 100% sure, But one thing I am sure that it's been here a long time, and if any gold has flowed over it and got stuck in this crack right here, this whole piece right here looks like a big rock that could be busted out, and then all that good material is going to be underneath. So that's going to be crack number 2. It's definitely hollow. I just have to bust it apart, I think, in chunks. Safety first. Now this piece here is worth keeping because it has material on the underside. There we go. That's what we want. And look at that. It's a big section of, that's all quartz in there. Alright, so I'm going to continue clearing all this material out, get to the very bottom, and I'll show you what we end up with. Alright, so I'm busting this out, and as you can see, it's like mostly quartz in here. Must have hit a quartz vein. Look at all that. Now, we're not really concerned about the quartz itself. We're just worried about what's under the cracks here. But I'm at a point now where I think this entire section is going to come out. Some interesting material. Big old chunk. Oh yeah. Okay, so all these big pieces, we're just going to rinse them off into a bucket labeled crack 2. Clean all this material out. This is all the good stuff. Alright, so I want to give a nice shout out to Arbor Fabricating Classifiers. This is the 1/2 inch right here. The reason I'm using such a large classification is because I just don't want to bring these giant rocks home with me. So this makes real quick work of rinsing all the rocks off and then bringing home a minimal amount of material. If you guys want one, there's a link in the description. Use discount code SKProspect and you'll get a percentage off. All right, so after a good 1.5 or 2 hours, I got crack number 2 completely opened up. It's all yabby pumped out. I got as much as I could. There's a section like right there that I tried to get out, but I couldn't get it. So I did the best I could. Yeah, good amount of material in this bucket for crack number 2. And actually, I'm gonna call it. That's gonna be it for gathering material today. Now we're gonna go back to the panning station. We're gonna pan all this material out and see what kind of gold we got. But before I do that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hide a bag of pay dirt out here. Where are we gonna hide it? That's crack number 2. I'm standing on one of these big boulders here. And right up in the woods here, I'm gonna hide a bag of my gold pay dirt from kleshgold.com. Let's climb up here a little bit. And there's a juniper tree right here, a juniper bush. And there's a gray rock with a quartz stringer right in the rock. I'm gonna hide this bag right there. All right. These are waterproof. If it rains, it'll be fine. Yeah, man. Next person that comes up here, you're guaranteed some gold. Anyway, let's go back to the panning station. We'll pan out that material and we'll see what kind of gold we get. All right, here we got crack 1, which is a smaller amount of material because it was a smaller crack, and crack 2, which I couldn't fit all this material in one pan. So we have a lot of material here to work. So we're gonna go ahead and classify both of these down. That way we have some workable material, and then we'll get panning. right, here we have our plus and minus kitchen strainer of crack 1 and 2. We're gonna go ahead and do crack 1 first because it's in order. So let's bring over Crusty Rusty. I'll add some water and some surfactant to break the surface tension. Check that out, there's a lot of quartz pieces in there. There's a lot of quartz in that area. Let's go ahead and pan down the big stuff first. If I find any nice pieces of gold, I'm definitely going back up there. Oh wow, there's a lot of flour gold. I don't know how the flour gold got in here, but man, there's a lot. It must have been stuck to the rocks. Even though I wet classified, there was still a good amount of flour gold. I wonder what kind of flour gold we're going to find in the minus kitchen strainer. No big chunks of gold though. That's okay. I'll take that. That's really, really good for the amount of material that I brought home. You guys realize that, right? All right, grab it with the snuffer bottle. All right, let's pan out the small stuff. So this might be pretty difficult because I did not run a magnet over this because it was wet. Yeah, there's a lot of black sand in there. Yeah, see all that black sand in there? We don't want to pan too much of that at once. Just panning it back slowly. I don't see anything yet. All right, so to make things a little bit easier, I'll remove everything back here because I know there's no gold in it. Okay. So there's just a little bit of flour gold in there. Not too much flour gold in one spoonful. I'm gonna go ahead and pan the rest of this stuff out and I'll show you guys what I end up with. Okay, so this is the very last pan of crack 1. I took the snuffer bottle and I dumped it in here so you'll be able to see the reveal of everything right here. And I already panned it back and I know there's some nice gold in here, especially for the small amount that's here. So check this out. That's a piece of lead right there. Don't worry about that. Check it out. Lots of flour gold and even some flakes in there. I knew we didn't have any nuggets because that would have been in the plus kitchen strainer size stuff, but there's a few nice pieces right there. That's actually really good. That's really good. That's better than I expected. That's a good spot up there. We're gonna do crack 2 next. So this stuff, there's a lot more quartz in it because that was the material that I was busting apart in order to get under that crevice. So I'm not looking for free mill gold or anything in the quartz. I'm looking for what was hidden underneath the rock that just happened to be quartz. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan this stuff down and I'll show you guys what I end up with here. No freaking way. The very first pan, I still got all this left, and I get down to panning it and I noticed a lot of black sand. And all these BBs I saw, I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of lead in there. But you guys see that right there? I am shaking right now. I can't believe that we actually got a nice picker. Look at this. I mean, that's absolutely a little picker. Let's see if it makes a sound in the pan. Yup. Dude, this is in Colorado, up in the mountains. Oh, I don't even know if there's flour gold in here yet. I didn't even look. Let's go ahead and pan it back together. This is awesome. That is huge. That's a huge piece of gold. These bedrock cracks are the best way to get gold. Look at these lead BBs are heavy too. That's why they get caught in those crevices. Who knows how old they are. Yeah, and there's a few pieces of flour gold like right in here too. Down to the end here. And this one doesn't have nearly as much black sand, which is kind of strange. Okay, nothing in that one. All right, let's see what we got here. Come on, one more picker. One more picker. There's not even black sand in there, but there is a little piece of gold. All right, so I just realized I wasn't recording. I panned out the very last of the plus kitchen strainer from crack number 2, and there was nothing in it. There was no pickers, there was a little piece of flour gold, and that was it. So we're not done yet. We're gonna go ahead and pan out this. There's a lot here, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll pan all this stuff out spoonful by spoonful, and I'll show you guys what I end up with. All right, very first pan of the minus kitchen strainer crack 2, and there's a roly-poly little piece of goldy right there. It's rolling around as I pan over it right there, and I didn't even get to see if there's any major flour gold in here or anything. That's a little piece of metal from my chisel, not gold. There's some more. There's a lot of metal in there from my tools. There's like one piece of flour gold. Not a lot. Less than I expected. Alright, I'm switching over to a pan that's a little more seasoned. I think there's a lot of flour gold. I might be losing it actually, so we'll go ahead and do this just to see if it makes a difference. I'm still finding little pieces of metal for my tools. And there's a piece of gold right there. That's gold. Nice little flake. Oh wow. Oh no, I thought that was gold. It's a piece of metal. Right there. I thought it was gold. I thought it was gold. I mean, there's a little bit of flour gold. We found one nice flake in there. All right. I got a lot to go, and I'll show you guys what I end up with. All right, I got everything cleaned up. All right, crack 1, we've got a good amount of flour gold, and you guys saw the size of that crack. Only took me about a half hour to clear it out completely. I used the Yabby pump, I got everything on the bottom, and if I didn't use the Yabby pump, I guarantee I wouldn't have gotten all that really fine gold at the very bottom. So that's actually a success right there. And crack 2, totally different story. Not very far, maybe 50 feet away from crack number 1. And there's hardly any flour gold, and I Yabby pumped this one out as well. But there's the big piece right there. And then there's like 2 other pieces, maybe 3, and that's it. It was really strange. Now I'm happy with it, but it was just very different, just very close together. So something like this, my SDC 2300 would actually pick that up. So if I was up there with my metal detector, I would have missed all this stuff, but I would have dug this one out. So yeah, there you go. All right, so before I end the show, big thanks to all my channel members and Patreon supporters. If you guys want to support the show, there's a little blue join button below. And huge thank you to Kevin Single and his book, Finding Gold in Colorado. If it wasn't for that book, I never would have found this place. So thanks, Kevin. I really appreciate you taking that crazy amount of time to make the Finding Gold in Colorado book. And if you guys enjoyed the video, thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. And that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, you're one of the 42% that haven't left, so thanks so much. And also big thanks to all my Major Credit Patreon supporters and channel members scrolling right there. And also, if you enjoyed this video, you're really gonna like the other ones linked here, so definitely check those out, and I'll see you guys on the next video.